In a world full of noise and distractions, finding a moment of true peace can feel impossible. But for billions of people, there is a path to a deep and profound connection, a way to find inner serenity in the midst of daily chaos. Today, we're going to explore a powerful concept known as Khushu in Salah or prayer. Khushu is often translated as solemnity, humility, and complete submissiveness before God. It's not just an act of the body, but a state of the heart. This idea is so important that the Quran itself speaks about it. It describes prayer as extremely heavy and hard, except for those who are humble. And the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said something that should make us all pay attention, that Khushu would be the very first thing to disappear from the world. This tells us that guarding our inner focus and sincerity in prayer is one of the most vital acts of our faith, especially in our modern age of constant distraction. So, what exactly is Khushu? At its core, it means the heart stands before God in a state of humility and submission, filled with awe and fear. This isn't a fake outward display. It's a genuine feeling that manifests in our actions. The famous companion Hudayfa warned against the khushu of hypocrisy, which is when the body appears humble, but the heart is empty of true sincerity. True khushu is a state of being where the heart is so filled with awareness of God's greatness that all other desires and distractions fade away. Before we dive into how to achieve this state, let's talk about why it's so important. The benefits of a prayer with khushu are immense. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, made it clear that a person who performs their ablution, or wudu, properly, prays on time, and has perfect khushu, is promised forgiveness from God. On the other hand, the prayer of a person who pecks like a crow, rushing through their bowing and prostration, receives very little reward. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, even called this the worst type of thief. A prayer with khushu is a source of joy and comfort. It cleanses us and lightens our burdens. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that his joy was found in prayer, and he would tell Bilal, his caller to prayer, "O Bilal, let us find comfort in prayer." This shows us that prayer isn't a chore to get over with. It's a profound relief and a moment of peace. So how do we develop this incredible state of focus? Let's start with the things we can do to strengthen our khushu. 1. Prepare for prayer properly. Prayer begins long before we say the first words. It starts with our preparation. This includes performing ablution or wudu carefully and thoroughly. We should take our time, say the proper words, and remember that we are purifying ourselves for a sacred act. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, advised us to use a siwak, a natural toothbrush, to clean our mouths before reciting the Quran. We should also wear our best, cleanest clothes, just as God has said, "O children of Adam, take your adornment while praying." 2. Move at a measured pace. Rushing through prayer is a major barrier to khushu. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, always moved at a measured pace, allowing every bone to return to its place. He even told a man who prayed improperly to pray a farewell prayer, as if it would be his last. This is an incredibly powerful piece of advice. Pray as if this is the final opportunity you will ever have. This mindset will naturally instill a sense of urgency and solemnity. 3. Ponder the words. The Quran was revealed for us to ponder its verses. To truly connect with our prayer, we need to understand what we're saying. This means studying the meaning of the verses and the words we use in our prayers and supplications. The scholar Ibn Jarir once said he was astounded at people who read the Quran and do not know what it means. How can they enjoy reading it? One way to help with this is to repeat verses. The Prophet himself would do this. It was reported that he spent an entire night repeating a single verse. This practice helps us to think deeply and connect on a profound level. We should also interact with the verses. When we recite a verse about mercy, we ask for it. When we recite a verse about punishment, we seek refuge in God. This makes the prayer a living conversation, not a memorized recitation.
4. Vary your recitation. Repeating the same few surahs can make our prayers feel robotic and monotonous. To prevent this, we should make an effort to memorize and recite a variety of surahs and supplications. The Prophet, peace be upon him, himself varied his recitation in different prayers, sometimes reciting long surahs and other times shorter ones. This keeps the prayer fresh and helps us to encounter new meanings.
5. Know that God responds to you. When we say, "Praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds," God says, "My slave has praised me." When we say, "It is you alone we worship and it is you alone we ask for help," God says, "This is between me and my slave shall have what he asked for." Thinking about this transforms prayer from a monologue into a dialogue. It makes us aware that we are truly conversing with our Lord, and we should pay attention to how we speak to him. 6. Use a sutra. A sutra is a barrier you place in front of you when you pray alone. This helps to restrict your field of vision, protect you from the devil, and prevent people from walking in front of you. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, advised us to get close to our sutra to prevent Satan from interrupting the prayer.
Now let's look at the other side of the coin, how to actively fight off distractions, or waswas. 1. Do not pray when you are sleepy or have the urge to use the restroom. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, advised us not to pray when we are feeling sleepy or have the urge to relieve ourselves. Our minds won't be in the prayer, and we may even pray against ourselves without realizing it. The purpose of prayer is to connect with God, and we can't do that when our body is preoccupied with a need. 2. Avoid distracting places and images. We should avoid praying in a place with too many distractions, such as loud noises or distracting images. We should also avoid wearing clothes with patterns or decorations that could distract us or others. The Prophet himself once took off a cloak that had markings on it because it distracted him during his prayer. 3. Do not look up or around. Looking up at the sky during prayer is a serious act that can cause one's eyesight to be taken away. The Prophet warned against this. Likewise, we should not look around. We should focus on our place of prostration and not let our eyes wander. Our gaze should be lowered, filled with humility as a sign of our surrender. 4. Fight back against the devil. The source of many distracting thoughts in prayer is a devil whose name is Khanzab. He is tasked with confusing us during prayer, making us forget how many units of prayer we've performed or what we've recited. The Prophet taught us how to fight him. When you feel his presence, you should seek refuge in God from him and lightly spit to your left 3 times. One of the Prophet's companions, Abu al-As, did this and said God took Khanzab away from him. Khushu is not an easy feat. It's a major struggle, but the reward is immense. It's an action of the heart that can increase and decrease, but it is impossible to achieve without God's help. That's why the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, used to supplicate, "O Allah, I seek refuge with you from a heart that has no khushu." There are 5 levels of people in prayer. The highest level belongs to the one who takes their heart and places it before their Lord, looking at him with their heart and focusing on him, filled with love and adoration as if they are actually seeing him. The barriers between them and their Lord are lifted. Those who find their joy in prayer in this life will find their joy in being close to God in the hereafter. The one who finds their joy in God will be content with everything, and the one who does not find their joy in God will be destroyed by their feelings of grief and regret for worldly matters. This is the ultimate goal, to find true joy and peace in our connection with our Creator. Thank you for joining us on this journey to understand and cultivate khushu. May God make all of us among those who are humble and submissive in our prayers.